Let's take a moment to introduce some celebrities who are no longer in this world, so we will try to know about them in depth, what they did, who is in their family, and pay tribute to their family. So join us and subscribe to the channel and give a like to the video. Thank you. Ben Lanzarone dies. TV music composer, husband to Eileen Graff, was 85. Ben Lanzarone, the renowned TV music composer, whose work helped define many beloved television shows, passed away on Friday in his sleep after a battle with lung cancer. He was 85 years old, and his death was confirmed by his wife of more than 45 years, actress Eileen Graff. In 1986, Lanzarone was honored with the prestigious ASCAP's Most Performed Award, recognizing his talent and contributions to television music. Over the course of his career, his compositions became synonymous with some of the most iconic TV shows of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. His music was featured in shows like The Love Boat, Happy Days, Dynasty, Mork and Mindy, and Laverne and Shirley, to name a few. His unique style of underscore helped to elevate these shows, providing memorable background music that became an integral part of their success. Lanzarone's personal life was intertwined with his professional career in a beautiful way. He met his future wife, Eileen Graff, on the set of Grease, where he was involved in the production of the iconic music video for Summer Nights. Their bond grew stronger, and they later worked together on the popular TV show, Mr. Belvedere, where Graff starred as Marcia Cameron Owens in 118 episodes. Their partnership on and off screen became a lasting and loving one, with Graff by his side throughout their journey. Ben Lanzarone is survived by his wife, Eileen Graff, and their daughter, Nika. At this time, there is no information available regarding any memorial or funeral plans. Ewan McIntosh dies, actor best known for role as Big Keith in Ricky Gervais' comedy The Office. Was 50. Ewan McIntosh, the actor renowned for portraying the lovable character Keith in Ricky Gervais' iconic BBC series, The Office, has sadly passed away at the age of 50. Gervais, along with others, paid tribute to McIntosh after his death was confirmed by his agency, Just Right Management. The agency shared a statement saying, "With great sadness, we announce the peaceful passing of our beloved comedy genius, Ewan McIntosh." His family would like to thank everyone who supported him, especially the team at Willow Green Care Home. While the cause of death has not been disclosed, Just Right Management indicated that there would be a private cremation for close family and friends in the near future, followed by a memorial celebration later in the year. Gervais, who worked alongside McIntosh on The Office from 2001 to 2003, shared his grief on social media, describing the news as extremely sad. He wrote, "The very funny and very lovely Ewan McIntosh, known to many as Big Keith from The Office, has passed away. An absolute original, R.I.P." McIntosh's portrayal of Keith Bishop, a deadpan character with a unique charm, became an iconic part of The Office. His role was central to several memorable moments on the show, particularly in the episode Big Keith's Appraisal, where David Brent, played by Gervais, humorously evaluates Keith's strengths and weaknesses. UKTV Gold, which frequently airs reruns of The Office, also expressed its sadness at the news of McIntosh's passing. A statement from the channel said, "We at Gold are deeply saddened to hear of Ewan McIntosh's passing at the age of 50. We adored him as Keith in The Office, and were fortunate to work with him over the years. Our thoughts are with his family and friends during this incredibly difficult time." In recent years, McIntosh had continued his acting career, with his latest role being in the 2023 indie horror film Nightmare on 34th Street. He had also appeared in films such as Drew Cullingham's Shed of the Dead, Steve M. Kelly's The Bromley Boys, and Raza Malal's Snapshot Wedding. On television, McIntosh made appearances in popular British comedy series such as Little Britain, Lead Balloon, and Miranda. Lefty Driesell dies. Basketball Hall of Fame coach, was 92. Charles Grice Lefty. Driesell, a Hall of Fame basketball coach who transformed the University of Maryland into a national powerhouse, has passed away at the age of 92. His family confirmed his death today at his home in Virginia Beach, Virginia. However, the cause of death has not been disclosed. In honor of Driesell, the University of Maryland has announced plans to pay tribute with a moment of silence before their game against number 14 Illinois later today. The Terrapins will also wear throwback uniforms from the 1970s, the same style worn during the January 21 Ode to Lefty ceremony when the team celebrated Driesel's impact on the program. Driesel's legendary coaching career spanned over 5 decades, during which he accumulated 786 wins. He was the first coach in NCAA Division I history to achieve more than 100 wins at 4 different schools. He began his career at Davidson before taking the helm at Maryland, where he led the team to national prominence from 1969 to 1986. Driesel's tenure at Maryland, however, ended in tragedy following the death of All-American Len Bias due to a cocaine overdose. After Maryland, Driesell spent 9 seasons at James Madison, where he won 5 regular season conference titles and then concluded his career with a successful stint at Georgia State from 1997 to 2003. Lefty's contributions to college basketball extend far beyond his impressive win record, said former Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski, and despite all his success, the true measure of Lefty is how he shaped the game and impacted the players and teams he coached. His induction into the Hall of Fame was an honor long overdue. Driesell is also remembered for creating the now legendary college basketball tradition of Midnight Madness. On October 15, 1971, at exactly 3 minutes past midnight, Driesell kicked off the first official practice day by having his players run a mandatory mile on the track at Maryland's football stadium. This event, attended by 800 enthusiastic students, helped build excitement for the start of the basketball season, eventually becoming a fixture in college basketball culture across the nation. Furthermore, Driesell made history by hiring George Raveling as an assistant coach in 1969, making Raveling the first black coach in the Atlantic Coast Conference, ACC. Driesell was inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame in 2007, but it took several more years for him to earn a place in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. He was a finalist 4 times before finally receiving the requisite 75% vote in 2018, just months after celebrating his 86th birthday. Under Driesell's leadership, Maryland achieved great success, including winning or sharing 5 ACC regular season titles and capturing the ACC Tournament Championship in 1984. Prior to his arrival, Maryland's basketball program had struggled to compete in the ACC, and attendance at games in the aging Cole Fieldhouse was low. Driesell's impact was instrumental in changing that, both by improving the team's performance and building excitement around the program. Driesell is survived by his 4 children. His late wife Joyce, whom he eloped with in December 1952 while coaching at Duke, passed away in 2021. Tony Ganios dies, Porky's and The Wanderers actor dies at 64. Tony Ganios, an actor best known for his role as Meat in the Porky's comedy series and for his debut in the 1979 film The Wanderers, passed away on Sunday after undergoing surgery at a hospital in New York. He was 64 years old. The news of Ganios' passing was shared on social media by his fiancée, Amanda Serrano Ganios, who revealed that the actor had fallen ill earlier in the week and was hospitalized on Saturday due to a spinal cord infection. He ultimately passed away on Sunday due to heart failure. Ganios' career took off with his first major role in The Wanderers, a 1979 coming-of-age drama directed by Philip Kaufman. Based on the novel by Richard Price, the film depicted a group of Italian-American teenagers in the Bronx during the early 1960s. Ganios played one of the street toughs, a role that helped establish him as an actor in demand, particularly for roles that required an East Coast edge. Throughout the 1980s, Ganios became a familiar face in Hollywood, sought after for his portrayal of characters with a strong New York presence. His career also saw him reunite with The Wanderers co-star Ken Wall in Wise Guy, a popular crime drama series that aired from 1987 to 1990. Ganios played a mob lawyer in the show, a role that expanded his presence on television during this time. Apart from Wise Guy, Ganios also had notable roles in films such as Continental Divide, 1981, which starred John Belushi, as well as appearances on television series such as Scarecrow and Mrs. King and The Equalizer. In 1990, Ganios appeared in Die Hard 2, the action-packed sequel to Die Hard, where he played one of the antagonists. His character met a grisly demise when Bruce Willis's character, John McClane, killed him by stabbing him in the eye with an icicle. This violent and memorable death became one of the standout moments of the film. But it was in 1981's Porky's that Gagnos found his most iconic and beloved role. Directed by Bob Clark, Porky's was a raunchy teen comedy set in 1950s Florida that followed a group of high school boys eager to lose their virginity. Despite facing harsh criticism from critics, the film went on to become a massive commercial success, ultimately becoming the fifth highest-grossing film of 1982. Its unexpected success led to two sequels, cementing Gagnos's place in pop culture. Gagnos's work in Porky's made him a household name, and his portrayal of Meat remains one of the most enduring memories for fans of the franchise. He was part of a cast that included memorable performances by actors like Dan Monahan and Chuck Mitchell, who portrayed the infamous character of Porky. The 1990s saw Gagnos continue his career with some notable roles, including a reunion with his Wise Guy co-star Ken Wall in the 1991 action film The Taking of Beverly Hills. This was followed by what would become his final film role in 1993's Rising Sun, directed by Philip Kaufman. The film, a crime thriller, starred Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes and marked a return to the director who had given him his first big break with The Wanderers. After Rising Sun, Gagnos largely stepped away from acting, marking the end of his career in front of the camera. Gagnos's death marks the end of an era for fans of Porky's and The Wanderers, films that helped define his career. While his roles may have often been seen through the lens of his comedic performances or his portrayal of streetwise characters, Gagnos's legacy as an actor who brought heart and authenticity to his roles remains strong. Throughout his career, Tony Gagnos was recognized for his unmistakable presence and natural charm, both on screen and off. Whether playing a tough guy or a lovable goof, his ability to connect with audiences made him a beloved figure in the world of film and television. Rita McKenzie dies, star of one-woman show Ethel Merman's Broadway. Was 76. Rita McKenzie, renowned for creating the longest-running one-woman show in theatrical history, passed away on February 17th in Los Angeles, just days before celebrating her 77th birthday. Her family revealed that she succumbed to a long-term illness. A powerhouse with an extraordinary stage presence, McKenzie's 1988 off-Broadway production, Ethel Merman's Broadway, earned her a place in theatrical history as the longest-running one-woman show ever staged. Her voice and dramatic flair captivated audiences for years, making her a celebrated figure in the world of theater. Beyond Ethel Merman's Broadway, McKenzie's theatrical resume spanned an array of diverse roles across the country. She originated the role of Lita Encore in the Los Angeles premiere of Ruthless the Musical, and reprised her performance in the show's recent New York revival. Her extensive stage work included portraying Reno Sweeney in the classic musical Anything Goes, starring in the 50th anniversary tour of Annie Get Your Gun, playing Rose in Gypsy, and headlining a 3-year U.S. tour of Neil Simon's The Female Odd Couple, where she co-starred alongside Barbara Eden. In addition to her stage roles, McKenzie was a celebrated performer with many esteemed figures in the entertainment industry. She had the honor of being the opening act for legendary entertainers such as Milton Berle during his 90th birthday tour, as well as Don Knotts, Norm Crosby, Donald O'Connor, and Steve Allen. McKenzie also toured with Joe Bologna, Renee Taylor, and Lainey Kazan in Bermuda Avenue Triangle, playing the role of Renee Taylor's daughter. McKenzie's talents extended beyond the stage into symphonic performances, including appearances with the Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and Baltimore Pops orchestras. In 1995, she had the distinct privilege of singing the closing finale for PBS's Capitol 4th celebration on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. In the realm of television, McKenzie's presence was equally notable. She appeared in The Brady Bunch, The Final Days, Caroline in the City, and Frasier alongside Kelsey Grammer. McKenzie was also featured in the film Meet Wally Sparks, which starred Rodney Dangerfield, and made appearances in the TV series Big Brother Jake, which starred Richard Lewis and Don Rickles. In recent years, Mackenzie's passion for the theater continued as she served as an associate producer for the pre-Broadway tour of All Things Equal, The Life and Trials of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a production by Rupert Holmes. Mackenzie is survived by her husband, Scott Stander, her daughter Jennifer and her husband Tom Otto, her son Derek Flug and his wife Vanessa, her sister Nancy and her husband Joe Wood, and 3 beloved grandchildren, Mason and Jackson Flug and Thomas Otto. No specific memorial plans have been announced at this time.